Hello, my beautiful feather tribe. Welcome or welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. I am so grateful that you are here watching this reading right now and that you are tuning in to this energy with me. I hope that you are doing well. I hope that you are enjoying your life and that, things aren't too much of a hassle for you right now. Which, let's be honest, in these changing and unsure times, it very well could be the case. But we are not here today to focus on any of that may be, stressing all of us out. We are here to look at opportunities, exactly what you could read from the title of the reading. We are here to look at your untapped potential, the side of you that you may be unaware is there, or that you just haven't utilized as much as you maybe could. So this is all about you and your sort of magical secret vault of skills or gifts or talents, and what you could do with them, or how these gifts and skills and talents could serve you if you were to put them into use. So that is what we are here to find out today, and I hope that you are excited to look at these opportunities or hidden treasure chests sorry, that was a mouthful, with me. So without further ado, let's just look at the piles that we have in front of us today and the options that you get to choose from. So as always, we start from the left hand side and move towards the right. So this is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, this is pile number 3, and pile number 4. So go ahead, take your time. You most likely know how this goes because pick a card readings are just, pretty much everyone knows what they are now, but in case you don't, all you need to do basically is just take a few deep breaths, close your eyes. That always helps, but you don't have to. And just try to tune into your body. Try to see what comes up, which pile feels like it is speaking to you, like it is drawing you in, which pile is pulling at you the most. Where does your eye drift? Whether there is a numerical connection for you here somewhere, whether you see some patterns, whether you see some, energetic vibrations around a pile. However your intuition speaks to you, use it, trust it, follow it, and see which messages are here to speak to you. So when you feel like you know which pile is yours, go down into the description box or the comment section down below and click on the timestamp that you need. That will take you straight to your reading. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the whole shebang. And as always, you can watch as many piles as you wish, but just keep in mind that this is still a general reading and it's most likely not going to resonate, completely. If you go ahead and watch all of the piles, for example, it may be that 1 or 2 piles speak to you, or there are some messages that you recognize, and then others maybe you don't really resonate with, and that's absolutely fine. And if you don't resonate with any piles, that's fine too. It could just be that this time this reading is not for you and it's targeted at someone who maybe needs these messages more than you do for whatever reason. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I am going to leave you here to choose in peace, and whenever you are ready, you can pause this video if you want to and, do your thing, and I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile number 1. This is your reading about your untapped potential. So as you can see, we have a bit more cards to go through, not just the circular one that you chose in the intro. So yeah, we are going to go through these oracle cards and see what is this untapped potential, or this side of you that you may be unaware of, or that you maybe are just not using to its fullest potential. So let's see first and foremost what we have. Okay, we have the riddle, We have snake, which is interesting that we also have, well, it doesn't really look like a snake. It's just, you know, this knot pretty much, but the texture of the snake skin is very similar to this. So interesting. Let's see what else. Okay, we also have hyena. We have rebellion. And poised. And then we have accept and receive. And overrate your intuition. Okay. Your untapped potential, to put it simply, is that you are able to think outside the box and break the status quo. Meaning that when other people see a problem or a situation and they immediately want to do the conventional thing or the sort of follow the protocol, you, on the other hand, see potential, you see opportunity, you see a deeper truth or a deeper sort of underlying picture or underlying system. You see what could be instead of what is. And I feel like it's coming from a very, very deep place within you, especially with the snake card, the overrate your intuition card, the riddle card, and even a bit of the hyena with the moon here. I feel like there is something very, very mystical about you, something almost prophetic. And I feel like the only thing really that is holding you back is you, because of how people might receive it or what people might think of you, what sort of reaction you might get. I kind of get like this side here. It's interesting that this side feels very like confident and sure and self-reliant, trusting your intuition, trusting your senses, trusting what you are feeling. And this side feels very much sort of concerned about other people, concerned about sort of society, or basically your image. That's how I feel in this situation. Especially with the hyena, it feels like even though in your heart or in your soul, in your core, you feel like the answer is something different than what everyone else is saying, or maybe a solution that other people want to work on doesn't seem the best to you, or doesn't even possibly seem like realistic or the right thing for you. You see a better way, but it could be that because you are sort of alone, or you are the odd one out in a situation, you are trying to sort of go with the flow and go with what everyone else is saying. And so you're sort of masking what you are truly feeling. That's what I feel with the hyena, and also with this poised card. But the truth is that you have so much like genius inside of you, so much revolutionary insight within you. And all of that, I feel like, is meant to come out, and it's not meant to be easy, and it's not meant to be easily received. And if people, you know, don't understand you, if people ridicule you or your thoughts or your vision, whatever, I feel like that's just part of the deal. And I know that it may not be the best thing to hear, but I feel like you have these gifts and you have these visions for a reason. You have this intuition that is super strong, and these inspirations that you get for a reason. They are within you because you are meant to revolutionize things, because you are meant to bring change about, because you are meant to break down the walls, the molds, the limitations, break down doors for opportunity, for growth, for expansion, for development. So I feel like in this instance, your biggest sort of challenge is actually silencing those voices of doubt and silencing those fears or insecurities about, you know, what other people might think or what they might say or how they might react, and instead embrace the insight that you are given, because I do feel like it's very, very special. And I feel like it is meant to revolutionize substantial things and bring about substantial change in ways that other people don't understand. That's why this riddle card is here. But they are not meant to understand it. You are meant to understand it. So I feel like the desire is there within you. The desire, the urge to speak up, to speak out, to sort of let your genius shine is there, but it's just being slightly blocked out by your rational mind at this time. But let's see more closely with these tarot cards, how you can better utilize this potential that is within you. So first, we are going to look at what is blocking that side of you, even though I kind of feel like we already slightly touched on it with, you know, all of this rational mind talk. But let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so we have the Hermit in reverse. We have the Six of Cups, and we have the World. Okay. So the cards here are bringing forth a rather simple message, a rather straightforward message. And it's clear that at this time, you are being guided and led by the programming that you have received as a child, the conditioning that you have been getting, or the environment that you have grown up in, the values that you have been taught, the principles that you have been taught. And I feel like those are the things, the systems that you are running on and that are essentially running your life. Because with the Hermit in reverse, it's clear that all of this genius insight that is within you, you are not at this time listening to it. You are not really respecting it, because it seems like that is not the answer to success. You have a very different perception, a very different idea of what success is. And I feel like it is exactly that type of conventional way of going about things that you feel at this time is what is going to lead you to success, because that's what everyone has always told you. That's what everyone has always sort of programmed into you. But I feel like the truth is that you have much more wisdom within you, and that wisdom is a lot more advanced than what other people are around you are able to comprehend. I find it very interesting, this contrast between this old man, this wise, this elderly, or I should say not elderly, but elder, who clearly has something of importance to say, versus the children, you know. And I mean, the Six of Cups, it's not like a negative card by any means, and all of the conditioning and everything that you have received, it's you know, it's how should I say it? It's a common thing. It's a traditional thing. We all come from a certain background, and that background, whether we like it or not, affects us deeply. And it affects us even more if we allow it to control us without realizing how much power we are giving these things that we have been taught, and whether we actually truly believe them and value them, or whether we have just been programmed to do it, you know, to follow them blindly, so to say. And so that's really the main thing that is blocking this potential right now. But let's move forward, because as I said, these cards are pretty straightforward, and they are kind of reflecting all of this rational mind talk that we were already discussing previously. So let's see how you could utilize this potential more. What could you do? Okay, we have the 6 of coins in reverse. We have the 3 of swords, which for some reason I'm not surprised to see here. And we have the King of Wands. Okay, yeah. This is that self-reliant and self-assured energy that is needed. Okay, so there are 2 things or 2 ways that I see these cards right now. So the first is that I see an element of sort of being afraid of, you know, not receiving validation or not receiving support from other people, and sort of, you know, becoming an outcast or becoming sort of the odd one out who doesn't belong, you know, like a black sheep type of thing. That's the energy that I feel here. But yeah, and I mean, in this instance, with like not receiving other people's validation and not receiving other people's support, I feel like this King of Wands specifically, in this instance, is talking of someone that you respect a lot, that you think very highly of, and whose acceptance and praise, I feel like you truly, truly crave, or something that is very important to you. It could be like a father figure, or just, I don't know, your boss, or your partner, whoever it is. And it doesn't have to be male, even though this is the King of Wands. This is also a card of Leo, so they may have, whoever this person is, they may have strong Leo placements, or they may have that sort of Leo archetype about them. But I just feel like this person is very significant to you, and what they think of you is very significant to you as well. You put a lot of value in how they see you. And so I feel like not living up to their expectation of you, or not meeting their standards, or not meeting their impression of you is something that seems to be almost like holding you back as well. But I feel like the advice here is to not be afraid of sort of, you know, disappointing someone, or like even going as dramatic as this 3 of Swords is, even though I don't feel like it's as dramatic, but just like, you know, breaking someone's heart or breaking someone's image of you. Don't be afraid to do that, because ultimately, and I know that this is such a cliche, and this is, you know, something that doesn't necessarily even have to be said out loud, but I feel like in this instance, it's important to reiterate. Your life is your own, and you are here for your own journey. And yes, of course, we are meant to share our lives with others, and other people play a very important role in our lives. And we are social creatures, and we need to have a supportive network around us. But it shouldn't deter us from living our truth, from actually doing what we are meant to be doing here, and the experiences that we are meant to be getting while we are here. So I feel like putting too much importance on whoever this person is to you could be detrimental in this instance. It could be holding you back. So don't be afraid to disappoint other people. And also, if we sort of look at the situation from another angle, this King of Wands could also be speaking of you yourself, and you needing to sort of embody the King of Wands energy more. Again, sort of not needing to rely on other people's validation or other people's recognition of you, and just do what you feel is right to do, even if it doesn't necessarily, you know, bring support from other people, or, you know, again, if it disappoints someone. You need to do what's right for you. You need to follow that passion. You need to follow that inner voice, and sort of take this leadership role, which again, it may scare you. because it may be something that's a bit foreign or something that you don't have too much experience in, but I feel like it's there. And again, as I said before, you have this insight for a reason. It is given to you for a reason, which means that you are meant for this role. You are meant to step into this position. Okay? And finally, let's look at what doors could open up for you if you were to unleash this potential that is within you. Okay, we have the 9 of Cups. Okay, we have Temperance. And we have the Page of Cups. Interesting, a lot of cup energy coming through. So all of these cards here are reminding me of peace and living your life with purpose. I feel like if you were to actually listen to this insight and unleash this potential, create the change that needs to be created, and share your voice the way that it needs to be shared, I feel like you would actually feel a certain happiness and fulfillment, a sense of fulfillment that maybe you have never felt in your life before. It almost feels like a coming closer to the divine in a way, or getting in touch with something that is so much more powerful than what you have ever known. Because the Temperance is all about alchemy and metamorphosis. It's upgrading something and making it even more valuable than what it was before. Essentially creating magic. And I feel like that's what you could do. And not just for yourself, because with this Page of Cups, I almost feel like you could become this mentor, this teacher, this someone who creates a whole new path. I feel like if you were to start living in your truth and sharing your voice, you would actually attract a lot of people to you who see the world the same way and who want to be there for you, who want to support you. And so I feel like this effect would sort of radiate out so much further. It would help so many other people as well. And it's like you would be this guiding light for other people, encouraging them to also do what makes them happy, to also follow their heart and to be true to themselves. So this I see as some sort of like bigger healing, and not just of yourself, but healing that sort of transcends your own personal space. You know, I feel like it would have a much larger effect. So yeah, pile number 1, I feel like you here have a real chance of making waves that are just so incredibly necessary. And I truly, truly hope that this reading has sort of nudged you in that direction, or given you some sort of confidence to follow that voice and to see where it leads you, to take charge, to initiate a new way of being or new systems, you know, just following your inner calling and leading with your voice. But I'm going to leave it here. And if I don't see you in any of the other piles, I just want to say thank you so, so much for watching this reading. If you are still here, thank you for spending this time with me. And yeah, I truly hope you got something from this reading. As always, if you did, don't forget to share that with me as well, so that I would know that this reading made a difference and that it reached someone in some sort of profound or meaningful way. And you can do that by giving me a thumbs up. That would help my channel out too. Or you can leave me a comment in the comment section telling me that you chose this pile and that it spoke to you. You can also subscribe. I would love that too. But yeah, I'm just really looking forward to hearing from you, and I wish you all the best. So take care, pile 1, and I hope to see you very soon in one of my next readings. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. So let's just jump straight to the cards. As you can see, we have a few more oracle cards here besides this circular one. And yeah, let's just see what untapped potential is within you. Okay, we have the Creator number 22, which is a master number. So that's quite an interesting start. We also have Camel. And we have Panther. We have Boar. And Regeneration. Okay. We have Lead Your Metamorphosis. And finally, sorry, nose is itching. Feed Your Artist. Okay. Actually, I want to switch those around. So pile 2. With you, I get a very strong sense that whoever you are watching this on the other side of the screen, you are extremely artistic. There is a lot of creativity within you, and not just creativity. I feel there is a lot of emotion. That's probably actually the biggest thing that I feel here looking at all of these cards. I feel this huge surge of emotion, especially when I'm looking at this side of the spread. And I feel like with all of this emotion and you feeling things very deeply, not necessarily showing it to other people, although I feel like in times you may let it all out and sort of you may not be able to handle your emotions in the most constructive way. But I feel like most of the time you sort of keep it under wraps, or you try to hide how much you truly feel. And I feel like what these cards are telling me, pile number 2, is that you actually have this amazing ability to turn your emotions, to turn this surge of feelings that you have, or that get triggered quite easily, and turn it into something that is beautiful, something that is artistic, something that can bring hope or inspiration or create newness, create a new life in a place of, destruction or loss or sadness or desolation. I truly feel like you can give new meaning to things, to situations, to experiences, and even to other people. But it sort of requires a healthy and constructive way of challenging these emotions, creating your art or creating whatever you feel that you want to do, or however you feel you want to express yourself, to sort of get rid of these tumultuous feelings that you have. Because I do feel like there is a lot of power in your emotions and what you are feeling and how you digest everything that you experience in your life. And looking at these cards, and especially looking at these emotions, they are not easy emotions to deal with. These are heavy emotions. These are destructive emotions. These are emotions that, can trample you to the ground if you allow them to, if you keep them bottled up inside, and if you, choose to either not deal with them at all, choose to just stuff them inside like this camel here, or if you choose to, as I said, express them in like unhealthy ways. And I feel like all that these cards are saying here, really, pile 2, is that there is a better way, and that there is something that can be birthed and transformed from these emotions, something that can be truly inspiring and truly amazing. And I also feel with this camel card that there may be more hidden in you than you actually realize, or you may not even be aware, or you may not know how much is truly hidden in you. Like what your artistic capabilities actually are, and how astonishingly they could manifest. How awe-inspiring your creations could be, you know, if you decided to let them out and if you decided to share them with people. Because, and I mean, it doesn't have to be being artistic in the form of, you know, just painting, or like we can see here with the hand and the brush. It doesn't have to be art. It doesn't have to be like conventional artistic expression. It could really be whatever, you know. You may have the desire to dance. You may have the desire to make some sort of collages, or to repurpose something that we use in our everyday ordinary lives, but you may want to give those things a whole other purpose. Or you know, maybe you want to write poetry, maybe you want to design things, or make clothes, or, you know, I don't know, do whatever sort of statement, make whatever sort of statement you want to make. However you choose to express yourself, or whatever form you prefer, I feel like it is encouraged to experiment, to try different things, especially if these are things that you haven't tried before, or that you may have always thought wasn't your strongest side, or wasn't your strong suit. You may be surprised by how much talent you actually have. So just experiment and see what could come out of your self-expression. Okay? But let's move on to the tarot portion. And first, let's take a look at what is blocking this potential of yours from sort of surfacing or being fully expressed. Okay, we have the Tower. Yeah, we have the Moon. And we have the High Priestess. Wow, you got all major arcana cards. So this is some heavyweight stuff. Okay, this is, you know, this is not fooling around. Let's just say it that way. Okay, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it, pile 2. I do feel some very heavy energy here. But most likely, if you chose this pile, it's nothing foreign to you, and you are most likely very well acquainted with these heavy feelings, because it seems like it's something that you are just so used to by now that you don't even, you may even feel like it's normal, you know, to live that way, and to sort of be constantly tortured, I almost want to say, by these feelings and these emotions that you get. But it's quite clear to me, especially with the Tower card being here, because it very much reminds me of this Panther energy, and like with this Boar energy as well. Like both of these two cards together, as I said, they bring forth a very destructive energy, and the Tower is definitely a card of destruction. So one thing that is blocking your artistic expression is that you seem to like lash out, or almost like explode these feelings or emotions out in a very severe manner. I almost get this sense that whether you are doing it intentionally or unintentionally, and I mean with the Moon being here and the High Priestess, most likely it's something that you don't even realize that you are doing. I feel like you are like almost hurting other people, and maybe even yourself. And this is by no means like a judgment, okay? I don't want this to come across as criticism. of any kind, because with these cards, I absolutely get the sense that whatever you are going through, whatever you are experiencing, and whatever these emotions within you are, they are very, very heavy. They are very difficult to handle and deal with. And they almost seem to be like drowning you. Yeah, and I feel that strongly with the moon here for some reason. I feel like you are being submerged by these emotions that are like, they are taking away your ability to think rationally, to act rationally. And I almost feel like you get scared of these emotions and feelings that you get, that they frighten even yourself. And so that's why I feel like you may feel that it's unsafe to, you know, do anything about them, or you may even feel helpless in dealing with these emotions. And that's why they come out as like these explosive lashings out, you know? I feel like you try to control them. I feel like you really, really try, but they are just way too big. And so I feel like the two main components here is that sort of destructive force and the fear that you have. And then I mean with the High Priestess as well, this is like silence. This is that like bottling in energy that I was feeling with the Camel card here, trying to, you know, suppress them, the feelings, I mean, trying to sort of put on a brave face and not let anyone know what is actually going on, not seeking help, trying to sort of handle it on your own. But I feel like it's way too powerful. And as I said, for some of you, this way of dealing with these emotions is almost subconscious, or you don't actually even realize or notice some of the ways in which these explosive energies come out of you, and possibly the destructive force that they have. And now I'm just getting this like right now, so this is most likely not going to be for all of you, but I'm guessing someone here needs to hear it. And so this is a very specific message, okay? But I feel like some of you, or someone who is watching this reading right now, is having a serious issue with alienating people around them, or burning bridges with people, not really being able to maintain healthy and loving and supportive relationships, and feeling very, very lonely because of it. And I feel like it's only sort of fueling this sense of like desperation or anger or disappointment. And, you know, it's almost like this never-ending cycle, because it's so difficult to handle these emotions. And so it's almost like it feels impossible to not alienate people in your life. And I do feel like it's a very specific message for someone out there. But if that's you, if you are struggling with that, and if you feel like no one is able to understand you, and you are not able to be anything other than a destructive force in other people's life, if you feel like you're the type of person who like turns everything into ash that you touch, I want you to know that clearly this reading is trying to indicate that there is something that you can do with this, something constructive, and you can turn it into something meaningful and something inspiring. Okay? You just have to find that form of expression that is not harmful to anyone, that is not destructive, that allows you to get those feelings out in a healthy way, okay? There is an opportunity here. But yeah, so we talked about what is blocking this potential of yours, and now let's look at how you could utilize this potential within you more. So let's see. Okay, we have the 9 of Swords. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse and the 3 of Cups in reverse. Okay. So, my dear pile 2, With the Nine of Swords, the Ten of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Cups in reverse, what you need to realize is that you don't have to be alone with these feelings and thoughts. You can talk about it, even though I truly feel like you don't want to, like you are almost ashamed of them, or possibly you feel like it is a sign of weakness to open up about your fears and what of all these feelings of anger or disappointment, resentment, whatever it is that you are feeling. It's okay to open up about it, and you don't have to carry it all by yourself. With the Three of Cups in reverse and the Ten of Wands in reverse, it's clear that it is very heavy on you to not have support around you, and it's just a bit too much to carry it all on your own. So I do feel like it may be a good idea, and it might not work for all of you. It might not be an option for all of you. So I'll let you decide how you want to, move forward with this information. But I do feel like speaking to a therapist or speaking to someone who is actually, trained, or who has the necessary experience and necessary education, speaking to someone like that could actually be very beneficial to you as well. And also, especially with the Nine of Swords being here, I feel like these feelings and these thoughts, you may be giving them more power over you than is actually needed. You may feel like they are so much more powerful than you, or that you are powerless against what is happening around you, against this inner turmoil. But I feel like you are not actually as helpless as you think you are. You have a lot more resources within you, especially with this Camel card here too. There is so much more hidden in you, as I said, that you don't realize. And I feel like all it really takes is to start exploring it, to also like facing what these feelings and what these emotions are trying to tell you, why they are there in the first place. Because, as I said, this ignoring or pushing down or bottling up thing that you seem to have been doing, it's clearly not working for you, and it's just sort of digging you into a deeper hole. And I feel like if you were to find this creative expression somehow, it may be easier for you to sort of finally face what it is that you are feeling and why you are feeling these things. What is the source of those feelings? And another thing I definitely want to almost like, I don't know, warn you against, I guess. And again, this is not clearly for all of you watching, so just if this is you, you will know that this is a message targeted at you. But with the Three of Cups in reverse, I do want to just remind you to be mindful of any sort of substance abuse, okay? Because the Three of Cups in reverse could indicate that there is alcohol abuse in the mix, or there is some sort of substance abuse here, or just any form of addiction, really. So if there is something that you know that you are doing to sort of try to block all of these emotions and this heaviness out, then please be mindful, because I do feel like it's just sort of, it's again doing you more harm than good, even if it may be a temporary relief. In the long run, it's adding to all of that negativity. Okay. So yeah, that's what I feel like you could possibly try, so that this potential could actually manifest in a more healthy way. And finally, let's see what doors it could open up for you if you were to utilize this artistic potential and channel your emotions into something creative. We have the Four of Wands in reverse. Oh wow, we have the Empress and the Five of Coins in reverse. Oh my goodness, I absolutely love seeing this here. Okay. And also, do you see how much like more yellow this section is? versus all of this, which is a lot more like blue and dark in tones. Yeah, I love seeing this for you, pile 2. So what these cards are telling me here, pile 2, is that essentially you could create a whole new life for yourself. Let go of these old disappointments and feelings of lack and feelings of, not being good enough and not having what you need, not having what you want, not being content with yourself and with your life. Possibly even feeling uprooted with this 4 of Wands in reverse. With the Empress here in the center, this just feels at peace and so prosperous and happy and creative, right? Let's not forget that the Empress is the embodiment of creativity, of fertility, of abundance. She is the essence of creating life, birthing beauty, right? Because it's a card of Venus after all. And I feel like you don't even realize how much you could actually accomplish if you were to channel these emotions into something artistic. I feel like it would just completely switch your view on life, and it would help you to make peace with the past, help you to make peace with yourself. And I also feel like because the Empress is a very, very attractive energy, it's an energy that draws people and things and opportunities in, it would put you in a position where you would finally be able to create lasting and loving and nurturing relationships with people. This is a very secure energy, and I love that we have this 4 of Wands and the 5 of Coins both coming out in reverse here, because what it's telling me is that you could arrive at this untouchable inner peace and confidence and almost this sense of self, or this place of belonging that outside forces and outside influences wouldn't even have that much of an effect on you anymore, because you would know that you are able to create whatever you want to create. Again, the creator card is the center card here. This archetypal energy is what is untapped, what is the untapped potential in you. So it means that you are the creator, you are the person who is able to manifest or give life, give form to whatever you set your mind to. This is powerful, powerful, powerful energy. But again, with power, comes responsibility. Again, a very cliche saying, but it's true. And if you don't know how to use that power in a responsible way, in a constructive way, in a helpful way, in a loving way, then you can create a lot of destruction. And I feel like you don't want to do that. I feel like you want to be here in this Empress energy, in this loving energy. And you absolutely have this opportunity, this chance to be here, to become the Empress. But it has to be your own decision. It has to be your choice. And again, it's not easy. I absolutely understand that. But one of my favorite sort of expressions or one of these sayings that I truly, truly love and try to remind myself as well is that nothing worth having comes easy. Even though there is a lot of pain and even though this is difficult, usually our biggest trials and our biggest obstacles and challenges that we go through, they tend to become the biggest sources of beauty in the end. And there is a lot of value here. And I really, really hope, pile 2, that this reading has offered you a sense of encouragement to explore that path and to stop bottling up these emotions and stop being afraid of them, because in in the end, they are coming from you. They are a part of you. And they are not going to go away just because you don't want to deal with them. Wow, this has been such a powerful reading, pile 2. I really, really feel that energy deeply. And I honestly wish you all the best. And I am sending you so much love and protection and healing. And I hope that, you find your way out of this and find your way to the Empress, find your way to the light. And that this reading, was a little bit, even if it was just the tiniest bit, but I hope that it was of use to you in some way. So I'm going to leave you here, pile 2. If this reading resonated for you, if this spoke to you, please let me know. You don't have to share anything you don't want to in the comment section, but you can just give me a thumbs up and that would already let me know that it resonated. However you want to acknowledge this reading, it's fine by me. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. If I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, and I do hope that I get to see you soon in one of my next readings. But yeah, in the meantime, take care of yourself and be good. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So as you can see, we have more cards here than just this first one that you saw in the intro. But all of these oracle cards are going to tell us all about your untapped potential. So let's see what that is for you. Okay, we have the Dead End. We have Dragonfly. And also the Tarantula. We have Doll. And Never Ending Story. We have You Are Epic. And finally, What Does Your Soul Say? Okay, actually, let's do this. Okay, so wow, pile 3. I have to be honest, I had to sit with your cards for a hot minute because the energy was just so all over the place that I couldn't wrap my mind around what your cards are trying to tell me. But finally it sort of came together for me, at least in some manner. Basically, one of your biggest untapped potentials here that is coming through is your mind and your perception and what you are able to do with your mind. The opportunities that you are able to see or find, or the sort of thoughts that crop up for you when you are faced with a problem or a standstill or a crossroads. It seems like your mind is super powerful in handling these situations. I almost get this sense that you have the ability to create your life from scratch or start over completely from a blank slate, or just create something completely new from your life if you need to. Because especially with these 2 cards over here, with What Does Your Soul Say and You Are Epic, I get the sense that you have this beautiful ability to combine what you are feeling on the inside with what your soul is telling you, and how you are able to sort of rationally utilize that information. So it's almost like there is this beautiful collaboration between this deeper wisdom within you and this wisdom and knowledge and mental resources that you have that are coming from your head. So there is this beautiful like meshing of energies. The thing is, I'm not sure that you know that that's something that you are able to do. Because I feel like with both of these cards, the doll and the dragonfly, there is an element of like some sort of illusion here, something that is not real. And so it seems like you could have a slightly distorted image of yourself, or an understanding of what you are capable of, what are your strong suits, how much you are capable of actually taking charge of your own life. Even with this like never-ending story, it almost feels like there is something in your head that keeps like spinning the same tale, or keeps spinning the same lies. But as I said, your mind has so much power, pile 3. And I mean, that's something that we hear from a lot of different places, that, you know, our minds and our perspectives create our reality. But I feel like for you, that is much more strongly the case than for other people. I almost feel like this manifestation energy for you, pile 3, like this magician energy. However you see your life, that's how it's going to come about, or that's what's going to be born or be birthed. And so that's why it's really important for you to sort of make decisions and act and open up to possibilities, opportunities, and options that may not be necessarily like evidently around you, but that you may need to sort of dig a bit deeper for. Because as I said, I feel like you have an uncanny ability of creating a door, or creating a window of opportunity where maybe seemingly there is none, where you may see, or where other people may see that there's a dead end, you know, like this card says here, that there is nowhere to go, there is no solution, there is nothing. But you are definitely able to see it differently, and to create options, to create something out of nothing. And I do want to emphasize, pile 3, I want you to understand what a superpower that is, and how special that is, and why it is even more crucial than maybe for other people, for you to see yourself as powerful, to see yourself as capable, and to believe in yourself, to encourage yourself, to, say affirming mantras to yourself every day. And even though it may sound like, like arrogant to some people, or like egoistic, whatever, I know that that's not the case for you because of this soul component here. So it's not just that you are sort of, creating this illusion, or trying to make yourself more capable and more outstanding than you really are. You are just trying to be your own cheerleader, basically. Be in your own corner, and make it easier for you to actually manifest what your soul is wanting to create in your life. So, okay, this was difficult. I'm not gonna lie, this was difficult. And I'm not sure how much this resonated, or how much sense it made for you. But if it did, I'm really glad. So hopefully these tarot cards can shed some more light on this whole situation here, and your untapped potential even more. So let's see, first and foremost, what is blocking this untapped potential in you. We have Death in reverse, we have the 10 of coins, and we have the 5 of swords. Okay, so pile number 3. what is blocking you from actually creating and manifesting the life that your soul truly wants to live is basically outdated or outmoded belief systems, values, and traditions. That's really what I feel with this 10 of coins here. Even though normally this is a good card, but in this instance, I just feel like this is a legacy that you have been left with that is not necessarily doing you too much good, with this death in reverse and 5 of swords being right next to it. So as I said, please be mindful of the sort of thoughts that you allow to germinate and take space in your head, especially with the 5 of swords here. Because as I said, your mind is super, super powerful. And if you allow like self-deprecating thoughts to take over, to have power over your life, then I almost feel like it's going to paralyze you and keep you stuck. And that's one of the things that you can absolutely avoid by being very mindful of your own headspace. But more than that, I also want you to be very mindful of the sort of people that you keep around and that you allow into your intimate space. Because again, with the 5 of swords, this can indicate that there is jealousy or, you know, just some envious people around you who may recognize how powerful you are and who may see how special and talented you are, but because of their own sense of lack that they feel within themselves, they may be trying to tear you down because they don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you better them in whatever way. And so they could be feeding this harmful energy to you. Again, keeping you stuck, keeping you sort of at a lower level where instead you could, you know, rise to the heavens, basically. I truly feel like there is no limit to what you can do, pile 3, but you just have to believe in it. And now, some people say it. I know that, you know, there are a lot of people who say it and there are a lot of people who believe it. But if we are completely honest, that's not true for everyone. Not everyone can do whatever the hell they want to do and manifest all of their dreams because of all sorts of different reasons. But for you, pile 3, I actually feel like that statement is true. Like it's actually true. The only thing that can stop you is your own mindset, is what you believe. Okay, so very, very important to be careful of the energies inside your own mind and around you. Okay, any harmful energies, anything that is trying to sort of talk you out of trying new things or making you doubtful about what you can achieve or what sort of undertaking you should try, or, you know, all those types of things. Okay, because this is stuck energy. This is wanting to keep you where you have always been and to keep you doing whatever you have always done and just sort of keep the wheel spinning in a traditional manner when you are meant for so much more. Okay, so let's look at what you could do to utilize this potential more. The Queen of Swords. Not surprised to see it here. Not surprised at all, and not surprised that we are talking of this power of the mind that you clearly have, and we get this. Okay, we also have the Page of Wands and the Ace of Swords in reverse. Okay, so with the Queen of Swords energy here right next to the Page of Wands and the Ace of Swords in reverse, I feel like what you can do is to be very, very critical about the sort of insight that you receive, and don't be afraid to challenge the people who may say that, who may essentially tell you lies, who may essentially tell you this negative or harmful or belittling things, whatever they may say to you, right, to keep you down on their level. Don't be afraid to challenge it, and don't be afraid to cut that stuff right out of your life, because the Queen of Swords is ruthless in that sense. The Queen of Swords doesn't allow anyone or anything to stand in their way, because they see the truth and they know that they don't need anyone's pat on the back or anyone's vote of confidence, because they have it within themselves and they know what is true. That's why the Queen of Swords is depicted as, first of all, higher up than, everyone else. And also you can see that the clouds are lower than their level of eyesight. They can see above the clouds. They can see the clear blue sky. They can see what is ahead. And so they know the truth. They know the reality of the situation, regardless of what someone else may be saying, or regardless of the made up tales or stories that someone may be feeding them. And more than that, I feel like this Page of Wands energy could also speak of the attitude that you yourself could have. And what I mean by that is that you could try to sort of experiment and find out and test whether some of these beliefs, again, that someone else may be telling you, or maybe that you yourself are, holding up as truth, whether they actually, bear their weight, whether they actually ring true to you. I mean, it could be that at some point they did, but it may be that they are based on nothing really, that they don't have any basis in reality and in truth. And with the Page of Wands, I feel like you are being encouraged to experiment, to explore, to see, to test the water, so to say, and to test the boundaries, see what is actually available to you, see what you are truly capable of. And it doesn't have to be anything big and massive and groundbreaking. You can start off very, very small with the Page of Wands. Just sort of testing your abilities and seeing whether the things that you believe to be true are really true. So I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. And let's say that your family, or your parents or whoever, they have always told you that you are not very good at public speaking. Let's say that it's not your strong suit, it's not your forte. You should just, stay quiet and not share your ideas because, I don't know, you are not doing it convincingly enough, or you are not interesting enough, or your ideas and thoughts are not interesting enough, whatever. Why don't you try to just share your ideas on a bigger platform somewhere? Just put them on the internet and see what people think. It could be that your words have a lot more impact than you realize. And so, or maybe you are offered an opportunity to speak publicly somewhere, or, to, I don't know, recite poetry or whatever it is, if you were given an opportunity like that, but you within yourself believe that you are not a capable public performer because of, again, what your parents said, in this example, right? It could turn out that it's not true at all, and that you have a very captivating voice and a very sort of magical way of being and a very charismatic way of being. So maybe you belong on a stage, and maybe you just never knew it, and maybe you just never gave yourself any opportunities to test it out because of what you were always told and what you, as a result, believe to be true. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that just don't take anything at face value, especially what other people tell you, or about what is possible or what is realistic, or whatever. Take that with a grain of salt and always test it out to see whether that's true or that's the case for you as well. And just sort of start exploring with what you believe to be true about yourself. and see whether they still hold true now. So I just feel like this experimentation could do you a lot of good. And also, as I said with the Queen of Swords, if you see any negative influences around you, don't be afraid to set firm boundaries and, if necessary, cut ties completely or just distance yourself as much as possible from that negative influence, okay? Because you don't need that sort of negative feeding into your energetic space. You don't need that slowing you down. So yeah, I feel like that's really very clear now what you can do to utilize that potential more and put your powerful manifesting mind to use. But let's see, what doors would it open up for you if you were to actually utilize that potential more. Okay, we have the Five of Cups with the Emperor and the Six of Wands. Okay, wow. With this Five of Cups and the Emperor and the Six of Wands here, I feel like if you were to actually take charge of your very powerful mind, or I should say, you know, fully put it to use in the manner that we have been speaking about, you would actually be able to take charge of your whole life. With the Emperor and the Six of Wands, this is very clear to me that this would put you in a very powerful position where you rule your own destiny. You essentially are the master of your own fate. And even though I definitely, as I said, I don't believe that that's the case for everyone, but I feel like you truly have a lot more free will in your life and in how things play out for you than maybe other people have. And so I feel like you would be able to, as I said, rewrite the disappointing things in your life, or the aspects of your life that you are not happy about, and maybe even help you to make peace with some opportunities that you have missed out on, or some decisions that you have made that have not led to desirable consequences or results. And I feel like it would really allow you to make peace with that, accept that, and move on. Because, you know, especially with the Five of Cups, where yes, the three cups on the ground are spilt, and there's nothing you can do about that anymore. But there are two cups that are fully upright. So in essence, this card is about everything not being lost, you know? I hope you know what I'm trying to say. It's just, I've been speaking for such a long time now that my words are getting all tumbled up. So everything is definitely not lost. And again, as we saw with this dead end energy here, you may be in a bit of a stuck energy right now, or you may feel like that right now, at this like standstill or crossroads. But I feel like in truth, again, you have the power to change all that and to bring about all of the successes that you are truly after. So instead of being in this like passive state with this Five of Cups, I feel like you would move into a lot more active, and I would even say proactive state with the Emperor and the Six of Wands, and sort of really, you know, get a handle on things and move in the direction that you would want to move in. Create, again, as I said, create opportunities where maybe other people don't see any. Other people may only see the Three of Cups, whereas you also see the two cups that are still standing. And even though, as I said, you may at this time not be in that state, you may, you know, not be aware of how powerful your mind is and how you are able to make magic using it. But if you were to start using it more, start relying on it, start relying on what your inner compass is telling you and following it, seeing it as possibility, seeing yourself as this powerful manifested magician that you are, this is the result. The Emperor and the Six of Wands, this is the result. And I feel like it's very poetic that we are ending this reading pretty much with the way that we started it. Because if you remember, one of the first things I believe that I said was that you have this ability to, you know, turn things around or to create new opportunities where there are none, you know, where other people may not be seeing them. And so that's exactly what I feel like you will be able to do. Create opportunities that lead to massive success. So, wow, I don't know who you are, pile 3, but if this was your reading, then you are seriously badass. And honestly, I even feel a little bit of like healthy envy towards you, because having that type of power, having that type of capability is like truly magical, because essentially what it means is that like there is nothing that you can't do, and the world is your oyster, and the sky is the limit, and all of these other cliches that clearly are true in this case for you. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, because I know that otherwise I'm just gonna start repeating myself over and over and over again, and it's just not necessary. So thank you so much for watching this reading. I hope that it injected you with a little dose of courage and confidence, and I just hope that it sparked something in you. And if this was your reading, I would love to hear from you that, you know, it resonated. You can give me a thumbs up. You can also leave me a comment in the comment section down below, letting me know that this was your reading and that it spoke to you. You can also subscribe. That would mean so much to me as well. And yeah, that's it, I guess. So if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, and I truly hope to see you very soon in one of my next readings. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. So let's get straight to these oracle cards, which, you know, as you can see, there are a lot more of now than what you saw in the intro. But all of these cards are going to tell us about your untapped potential. So let's see what we have. Okay, we have the Venom as the first card out. We also have a Moth and Elephant. We have Community and Round and Round. We have Nourish the Sacred Feminine. And finally, we have Changes. I must admit, I was just saying it to the previous pile as well, but I do struggle a bit with your cards, or it was a bit more difficult for me to sort of mesh all of these cards together into a synthesized or logical interpretation or meaning. Essentially, what I feel is your untapped potential is your ability to be a guidepost or a shining light to other people, almost like not like a trailblazer, but in a way like a trailblazer, and show what is possible when someone is dealing with a very like toxic or difficult or harmful situation. And the reason why you are able to be this guiding light or this teacher, mentor, guru is because you have been through a lot yourself, and you have learned a lot from these experiences. And so now you are able to show the way to other people. And I feel like it's one of those things where you don't realize yourself how much of an example you could be to other people, or how widely you are able to help other people. But I feel like there is a very, very healing energy about you. Again, whether you realize it or not, this ability, this innate ability to heal other people, to heal other people's pain or trauma, or at least help them to deal with that pain in some form or manner that would alleviate it and lead them to something something better, something more manageable, like that ability within you is super powerful. And whether you are male or female or anything in between, this nurturing feminine energy is something that I feel very, very strongly from you. And that's the thing with this venom energy here, because this is very, in essence, this is poison. This is something that is ruining other people's lives, ruining relationships, ruining mental spaces and jobs and home spaces and all of that. And I feel like you are able to, first of all, notice it. You are able to recognize it. You see what is wrong and you see what needs to be changed and how it needs to be dealt with. And so I feel like you are this very important person or guidepost again to a lot of people, especially with this community card here. And I mean with this elephant especially, that's both of these cards together make me feel like you have a very important role, especially in the lives of other people. You play a very significant role, and other people are very easily drawn to you with this moth card. You may have noticed it yourself. For instance, like if you are someone who is constantly drawing people in, and people just like open themselves up to you and they start spewing out their whole life story, and you know, they just very easily and very quickly become vulnerable with you and tell you all of their deepest, darkest secrets, their fears, their insecurities, all of the things that they are going through. You know, if people sort of trust you very easily without maybe even knowing you too much, all of those things are indications that there is something healing about you and other people can feel it energetically. And so that's why they come to you and open up to you and are sort of seeking support from you. And I feel like you are this element or this source of positive change for other people. And again, the reason why you are able to do it is because, again, I feel like you yourself are highly empathetic and you have a lot of this nurturing, loving energy about you. And so that's why it sort of flows out of you so easily, and that's why other people feel it so easily. But it's also stemming from a lot of wisdom. And I feel that with this round and round and elephant card, both of these over here, and even like, okay, the sacred feminine as well, which is giving me like high priestess vibes. But with round and round and elephant, this is clear that you have gone through quite a few trials yourself, and life has taught you a lot, and you have you haven't just gone through the motions and you haven't just gone through the lessons in your life. You have actually learned a lot from them, and you have learned to sort of do things differently, or just find solutions, or try to steer the situation in a better direction. And so all of that, all of this empathetic ability that you have and all of this wisdom and experience that you have gained is what is making it so valuable to other people. So yeah, I feel like you have this untapped potential of being a very illuminating mentor, teacher, example to other people. But let's see what is blocking this untapped potential within you from coming forward. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. We have the Hierophant, which is interesting because that's exactly that elephant energy that I was feeling. Well, with the High Priestess, of course, but anyway, we have the Hierophant and we have the Fool. One thing that I'm feeling here, pile number 4, is that you may be afraid of the responsibility that it entails of being this like guide or mentor to other people, being in this more like a leadership position in your life, it seems to be something that may be terrifying you a bit, because you may feel like you are unprepared for it in a way. The other thing that I'm feeling here, especially with the Fool and the Hierophant, is that you yourself may doubt your own like validity, or your own, I don't know, okay, maybe validity is not the best word to use, but you may not feel as much of an authority as you actually are. You may feel like you haven't actually experienced enough yet, or you don't know enough yet, or like there is more for you to learn, especially with the Fool and the Knight of Wands in reverse. It's like you don't feel sure enough within yourself that you should actually be any sort of authority to anyone. When in truth, I feel like you are so ready for this. You were born for this. You were born to be this guiding, healing light to people. I wouldn't even be surprised if you are a light worker, or, even if it's not as spiritual as that, it could be that you are just like born to be a therapist, or born to be in any sort of like helping profession, or doing something in which you are able to help people. I feel like you are so meant for that type of work in your life. And even if you do it as like a hobby, even if it's not something that you want to do professionally or for a living, I still feel like it's something that is just so, it just comes so naturally to you, that you are able to offer really good, solid advice to people, that you are able to support people in difficult times. And again, that you are able to direct them on the right path, where they may not be able to see it themselves, and where they may be sort of constantly repeating negative cycles, or stepping into the same experiences, repeating the same lessons, and facing the same obstacles over and over and over again. So you have this ability to steer people in their highest good, basically, and to help them overcome these challenges. But it seems like you are maybe lacking some self-confidence in that regard. Or you may even be looking to sort of someone else, or you may feel like you need support yourself. So regardless of how this like resonates for you specifically, I just feel that this energy here is talking of feeling unready, or feeling like you are not deserving enough, or like you do not have the authority. You don't feel deserving of that authority. When in truth, it's kind of like your birthright, I want to say. So your own thoughts, your own belief systems are definitely something that are blocking you in stepping into this role, or, allowing this potential within you to truly manifest. And another thing that I feel like saying for some reason, I don't know whether it's coming from one of you who is watching this reading right now, but I suddenly got the sense that like someone is very disappointed that this potential is not like helping them progress or ascend in some way, but that it's more so, or pretty much entirely, revolving around other people, helping other people. And I just want to sort of say to you, if that is you, thinking this, watching this reading right now, I feel like you are going to feel such sense of like fulfillment and happiness and contentment from being able to help other people, and having a very purposeful role in other people's lives, being this healer, being this mentor or teacher to others, actually making a difference in people's lives and leaving a mark in that way. And I feel like you don't possibly understand that feeling right now, but once you actually get more into this energy and allow that potential to sort of crop up more to the surface, you will see what it's all about. And I feel like that will be the rewarding aspect, and it will be a lot more rewarding than, you know, using your potential to elevate yourself, if that makes sense. So I don't know who that was for, but for some reason I felt like I needed to say it. So I hope that this alleviates some of your disappointment. But anyway, let's move on to how you could utilize this potential of yours more. So let's see. We have the Magician, we have the Six of Swords, and we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So pile number 4. I feel like the way that you could actually utilize your sort of healing ability more is if you were to sort of start expressing yourself more openly, more confidently. Because with the Magician here, it's kind of indicating that even though you may not feel like you are ready, you actually have all the things that you need at your disposal to embody the role that you are essentially born with, or this gift of being a healing influence for people. You know, you have it within you, so you don't need to do anything more with it. You don't need to go and seek more experiences in order to become this authority, because again, that authority already exists within you. So I feel like reaching out to people and expressing yourself, sharing your experiences, sharing your wisdom, sharing your thoughts, I feel like could be something that would really like help you to see yourself more in that position, or to put you in that mindset. Because with the Three of Wands in reverse, this is telling me that even though I do feel like people do sort of gravitate towards you naturally anyway, it's probably not the best way to utilize your skill. The best way for you to utilize it would be to be more active with it. And again, that means like sharing your voice, because the Magician more specifically is a card of Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication. It's the planet of thought. It's the planet of movement. So you need to speak up. You need to share this insight that you have, which again, clearly is coming from the divine. It seems that you are very, very tightly connected to the divine, to the universe, to your own intuition, right? We have this sacred feminine card here. We had the Hierophant here, and we have the Magician here. All of these energies, and with the elephant as well, you can see that the elephant's third eye is lit up. So all of these energies are, all of these cards are indicating that there is divine energy present. Even this symbol here, which is a symbol of like sacred geometry, right? This is a sacred shape, and I feel like all of it is indicating that you are in very close communication and very close connection to the divine, and you are meant to bring that divine information and insight to other people. You're meant to share it. So again, in whatever form you feel comfortable expressing yourself, opening up, or sharing your wisdom, whether it's through a blog, whether it's through creating or starting a YouTube channel or a TikTok channel or whatever, however you feel called to share your wisdom, share your thoughts, make sure to do it. Because I feel like with the Magician and the Six of Swords being here, I feel like you could reach a lot wider with your insights, and you could be a lot more active about it. You could be more sort of hands-on about it, rather than like waiting around passively for these people to come to you and for these opportunities to sort of share your wisdom. Okay? And finally, let's see what sort of doors would open up for you if you were to utilize this healing potential more. Okay, we have Judgment, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse, and we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay. So one of the main things that I'm feeling here with the Judgment, Eight of Wands reversed, and the Two of Cups reversed is that using more of this untapped potential would actually take you to a place where you would feel a lot more happy, a lot more fulfilled, and a lot more like you are actually doing what you are meant to do, like you are living in accordance with some sort of higher truth, rather than like fueling endeavors or putting energy chasing things that are not actually truly lighting you up or giving you that something that makes you feel the sense of accomplishment, or that makes you feel getting what you want from your endeavors. Because these two cards here are sort of telling me that whatever it is that you are sort of putting a lot of your main energy into, it doesn't seem to fully be doing it for you. It doesn't seem to be giving you that, again, that satisfaction. So it's like there is always something missing. And I feel like this healing path, or this helping other people path, is something that would fill that like place in you. I don't want to say void, because that sounds a bit too dramatic, but I feel like it would just give you something that nothing else can really imitate, like that sense of fulfillment, that sense of doing something purposeful, something that is meaningful. And I also feel like, especially with this like angel imagery, I get the sense that this healing potential that you have is, as I said, something that you may not be like advocating too much or too openly right now. So clearly there is something else that you are doing, or there is something else in your life that is taking up the majority of your time, your energy, and your effort. And so this healing path, or this healing ability, is maybe a bit like more left on the side, or something that, again, well, clearly we're looking at untapped potential, right? So it's clearly something that isn't receiving as much attention. And I feel like because of that, because of this hidden side of you that not that many people are able to see fully, you may be surrounded by people, by situations, by conditions that are not necessarily on your wavelength, so that you don't truly vibe with on like a deeper level. And I feel like if you were to open up more, if you were to utilize more of that healing, that more intuitive, more divine, more spiritual side of you, I feel like more people who are actually vibing with that energy could find you and sort of gravitate towards you. So you would find your sort of place, or you would find your tribe, and you would find your sense of belonging like more easily, or it would become much more prevalent in your life. And these other people who maybe are not necessarily on your wavelength, you wouldn't have to, waste your energy on those types of, again, people, situations, circumstances, whatever. So this judgment is just an indication of truth, like the utmost, highest, most high vibrational truth. And yeah, I mean, the cards are all just indicating a very specific thing here with all of this, the Hierophant, the Magician, the Elephant, Judgment. They are all very, very like spiritual cards, very divine cards. And so I feel like there is no other way to see this reading. And it's clear to me that your role, at least one of your roles on this planet Earth in this lifetime, is to be a healer and to help elevate the energy of the planet, to help make things better. And I hope that this reading has made you more what's the word? has made you want to do that more, has put you in that sort of state of mind to explore that path more and allow that spiritual and very, very wise and knowing and intuitive side of you, that nurturing, healing side of you to come forth and sort of do what it's meant to do. Because it would truly be a very, very meaningful gift to all of us. So I hope that that's what this reading did for you. But definitely let me know how this resonated for you, whether you recognized anything, whether you recognized yourself in this reading. You can give me a thumbs up, you can give me, or you can leave me a little comment in the comment section if that's what you like, just letting me know that you chose this pile and that it resonated. You can also subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. But yeah, basically, I'm gonna leave it here. And I just hope that, you know, it served some sort of purpose, this reading for you. But if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves. And I hope to see you very soon in one of my next readings. Take care. Bye-bye.